Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I am Roger Wakefield, and as you see, I am not in the studio today. I am actually in Boise, Idaho for a mastermind and stepped out. We're at an Airbnb, and some people are in there still getting ready. It's kind of early in the morning here. I say that it's 8 o'clock, not too bad, but I want to hope everybody is doing wonderful, and I hope y'all are ready for, man, a great Friday. As you see, I'm not alone. I've got Squirt here with me. Squirt, how are you doing today?
Man, I am doing lovely. It is freaking Friday. So happy, just as usual. Come the end of the week, getting ready for a great weekend ahead. But trying to stay focused.
Last week we were getting ready. I mean, this was the 4th of July a week ago.
Yep.
That's and we were telling everybody on Thursday to think safety. This is Friday. I know people got things going on. So again, people think safety. We do this every day. We get to come here and do this. We talk trades each and every day, 11 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Western time, 9 and 10 in between. And we do that so that people can sit down at their lunch break or maybe at breakfast if you're on the West Coast, or at, and I said that, yeah. Got to figure out where I'm at and what time it is. 9 o'clock where I'm at. It's like, okay, I'm looking at the wrong times. West Coast, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock Eastern time. But we do this because we really think that if you'll get up and study your niche, your industry, your profession every day for 30 minutes to an hour, you can move yourself up into the top 5% of your industry. I'll do that because most people aren't doing it. Most people aren't studying what's going on, what they're doing, how they're doing it, and there's new material, equipment, tools, technology each and every day. What do we have in the studio today?
Man, we got a co-host. Since you were out, I figured, he's been up there for a few minutes, and he's just chilling, like checking everything out. He sees you on screen now.
but he can't hear me, right? You got headphones in?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, Bailey. Hi, Bailey. Bailey, can you hear me? He says, turn him off. He said, I like it when he's not here. But guys, look, if you want to do what we do, I started YouTube 7 years ago. And I started doing it because I really thought that me teaching people how to fix their own plumbing could help me grow a plumbing company. And I got to tell you, it did. It worked. It helped. So what we did is we learned how to reach our customers. We learned how to reach other plumbers and tradespeople and different things like that. So we've done a lot of cool stuff, but I can teach you how to do it. And a lot of people tell me, like, I cannot do YouTube. Man, that's just the voice in your head that's telling you that it won't work for you. But guys, look at me. I'm a plumber. It works. We made it work. If you want to learn how to do what I do, what Randy does, what Randy thought he would never do, all you got to do is start. And I made a webinar. The webinar is free. Go check it out at www.justmetroger.com. I think you'll enjoy it.
That's it. Everybody, I am Henry Wakefield, 20-year pipe fitter by trade. Now I get to run Leak Pro, and we would like to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here, hang out, and talk trades for an hour each and every day, Monday through Friday. And Leak Pro builds the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And I always suggest checking out the complete kit at www.leak-pro.com. It comes with both pieces of equipment to cover you for outdoor or indoor leaks that are under slabs, things like that. But if you're not familiar with how to do leak detection and you're tired of losing jobs to leak detection people, give me a call, because I do a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas, and I'll go through and show you every part to actually go in and do leak detection yourself. So give me a call and let's discuss it at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO.
And the neat thing about that, Randy, is we talk all the time to all the different trades, plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, and roofers. What can you specialize in? What can you bring in that sets you apart from every other company in your area? You don't have to be the biggest leak detection company in the world. What if you were just the biggest leak detection company in Allen, Texas? Okay. a big enough area that, you know what, if you're that guy, if you've built that name, that brand, that reputation, you can do great there. So anybody interested in it, look, this changes your bottom line. It builds your revenue fast because you're doing things that other people aren't doing. And Randy, when people come to town for training, we always talk to them about, well, who's been doing your leak detection work for you and how far out are they? What do we normally hear?
Man, anywhere from 1 to 6 weeks is a lot of the case. Majority, it's 2 to 3 weeks roughly. But still, any customer waiting 2 weeks for a leak detection, that's not good. Let's help teach you the right skills, using the right tools to be able to find it right then while you're there. It doesn't take long. Once you know the process, once you learn the process and get your ears trained and dialed in, it's pretty simple to do, honestly.
All right, we're fixing to jump in this, but I want to pull up this comment here. Bailey, the star of the show.
Yep.
We knew that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about national news here. Significant labor shortage reported in construction sector nationwide. Man, this is the first time we've ever heard about this, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't know there was a shortage.
I had no idea there was a shortage. It's like, really?
I thought every project was running on time because we've got plenty of manpower.
Yeah.
Wake up, y'all.
Think we do. I know. I thought, wait a minute. I don't think we do. And I hadn't even had a mimosa or anything this morning.
That's it. You know, hey, that's the goal.
Man,
it should be there.
It should be. Yes. So, you know, my whole thought is, and we talk about this so much, and this is why, to me, if you're a tradesperson and you're watching this right now, you should be helping recruit into the trades, each and every one of us. It's not just me. It's not just Mike Rowe. It's not just Chris Cuomo. It's not just Dr. Phil. We need to be recruiting people into the trades. And the nationwide shortage is impacting project timelines and costs. Costs are probably the worst thing because, and I know a lot of y'all have heard me talk about having people in for the podcast. And I've had a few people in that have had multi-million-dollar companies. And I always ask them, if I had a room full of tradesmen down at the other end of the hall, how many people could you hire right now today? They're good, they're licensed tradesmen. And Randy, I've had answers up to 90 to 100 people.
I was going to say, I bet the question is, how many people do you have in that room?
Yeah. I'll take them all.
I'll take them all. How many you got? Let me see. I may have room for them all. Like, yeah, that's it.
I mean, imagine being a company that you could put another 100 people to work right now today. That tells you how much money you're losing a day.
Yep.
Because if you had that 100 people a day, say you're profiting $50 an hour per person.
Yeah.
$400 a day times 100.
Yep.
$40,000 a day you're losing.
Yep. That's it. And this is coast to coast. This isn't just regional. This is everywhere.
This ain't just in Saxe, Texas, y'all.
That's it.
It's crazy though that it's that way. But it does. It impacts projects because you've got to be able to look at the general contractors and say, hey, we don't have enough men to get this done in this amount of time.
Yep. And
it's a thing that they don't want to hear, but you got to be honest. And there's such an increasing demand for skilled workers in plumbing, electrical, HVAC, welding. I'm going to say this for Randy, pipe fitting, carpentry. Yep. You know, I remember talking to one of the big contractors in Dallas, and they told me, Roger, whoever owns the welders owns the work. Because the big commercial jobs, they've got to have welders. They've got to have pipe welders. They've got to have good pipe welders.
Yep. Pipe, structural, everything. Like it takes it all.
I know, but I tie everything to pipe. That's the way my mind works.
That's our worlds. Yeah. Yeah.
But I know some good iron workers.
That's it. Oh, me too. Man, some crazy ones too, for sure.
They're all crazy.
They're all crazy. That's it.
Yeah.
But like projects that used to wrap up in 90 days, they're stretching out to 120 days now because there's just not enough manpower. We're going to have to do some changes, guys. And a lot of companies are turning to training programs and recruitment drives just to stay ahead of this issue to try to incorporate more people in, because there are so many opportunities in the trades. AI's taking over everything. It's not going to take over all of our trades. That's for sure.
Big time. Yeah. Well, all companies need to be looking at potential strategies to mitigate impact, including training programs and a recruitment drives. Get out and talk to high schools. If you know kids are fixing to graduate, get out and talk to them and say, hey, who's looking for a job? Come up with some workforce development initiatives. Hey, we will bring you in and train you. We will make you a professional. Yeah. And then you got to look at the role that technology plays in compensating for labor shortages. How can we use AI more to work smarter, not harder?
That's it. There's a lot of automations to help us, and even bring it into your prefabrication and robotic equipment, because they're coming out with robots to help fill labor gaps. See what's out there for your niche, for your world, for your trade that can help fill some of the spots where you don't really need that first year apprentice to work anymore because you've got a robot. There's robots that'll print the layout on the concrete for you so that you know where everything's done. I think that's awesome. That is a great tool to have in your box. So,
and I saw one of those at Skills USA. It blew my mind. It's literally, it's running around on the floor, and they've got it set up in a certain area where it's coming in, it's making dots, and it's like, oh my gosh. All right, so let's jump into the bottom line real quick. How do you reduce operational costs through efficient inventory management? And man, this is a good one because the benefits of precise inventory tracking and control pay off immediately. And I used to tell our plumbers, look, we created a par list of everything you're supposed to have on your van. And my thing is, Squirt, if you go out and you run a job where you install a water heater, you make a material list of every single thing that you used on that job, and you go ahead and order it. That way, it's at the shop the next morning before you leave.
Yep.
And if you're doing that, you never go to a job. You know how many of everything you have on a job when you walk through and a lady says, hey, we need 4 lavatory faucets changed out. Can you do them? Absolutely. Yep. Matter of fact, I've got 6 on my truck. You know what you've got.
That's it.
And then there's some great inventory management softwares that actually help you do this. If you're not using software, you're getting behind.
Yeah. I think that's kind of standard everywhere nowadays. Everything's software. It's all automation. But guess what? You have to push the buttons to make it order. You've got to accept it. You've got to restock it. You've actually got to go through and click the buttons that said, hey, I used it. Okay. You have got to track it. There's tons of softwares, but you've got to use that software. And that's what we've got to build at these companies, is that type of mentality. Look, how pissed off are you when you're on that job Friday afternoon and you're 190 short?
Mm-hmm.
Because you forgot to put that one on the list. You missed one.
Yep.
You normally have it. You should have it, but you don't. We've all
because you did not do what you were supposed to do.
That's it. You didn't check the right quantities. And
Randy, I like the way you said you've got to push the button.
You have to.
Just because I got the app on my phone doesn't mean it does everything for me.
That's it. That's my favorite call to get about Leak Pro and leak detection is, oh, so I'm just going to walk in and it's going to tell me where it's at? No, it's not a robot. It's not Superman. Oh, hey, here's your water leak. You better get down here and fix this. No, I'm sorry.
Hey,
we're not there yet.
That complete kit is freaking expensive.
Well, like I was telling somebody about that yesterday. I said, yeah, that's why it's only $3,000 for all of it. And isn't that awesome, man? You can do leak detection instantly. I didn't even have to train you for that one.
Not bad at all.
But yeah, that's it. You actually have to do the part. You can't just get it and, oh, I've got the tools. Yep, it's doing it. No, it's not. Use that software and embrace it.
There's a lot of softwares out there that are helping, and the case studies demonstrate the cost savings. People are saving 10, 20, 30% by using the tools that they have.
Yep.
And there's great strategies for reducing overstock and minimizing waste just by using these softwares right.
That's it. There was a commercial plumbing company in Florida that they saw $18,000 in annual waste cut just by tightening up their inventory. Things like that are big. Like that's it. That's what hits the bottom line. That's what really helps you save in your business. Like we've talked about the superintendent that walked through and he's picking up a few nuts on the floor.
Yeah.
Why?
Robert Brock.
Why? Because that's money on the job,
Yeah.
y'all. That period. Yeah, it's a few cents. Okay. But guess what? If I pick up 3 every day off the floor,
10 cents a day, every single day.
That's almost another box by the end of the month.
You bet.
Boom.
You bet.
So
I love it.
Stay on top of it. That's it. And don't miss the parts that you drop. You misplaced. Don't forget those. Like if you went to do an install, you dropped a couple of nuts. You didn't charge them for those because you just counted what you installed. Make sure to cover the extras in your inventory also. Don't get caught on the little bitty consumables because those will cost you more sometimes.
All right. We're going to jump into safety, but first I want to give a shout out here. Plumber in the Trades. Where did it go? There we go. Plumber in the Trades says, good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing? And then he also says, water treatment seminar was great. I love those. Learned lots. Topics included water softener repair and diagnosis, dangers in the water, including PFAS, and UV water filter treatment. Lots of cool stuff. Man, we're, of course, talking to Halo Water Systems. Halo Water Systems is making something new, something unique. They've got one in Texas. They're going to get it to me, so I can't wait to see it. So safety. And Randy, this is one you and I talk about a lot because we being in Texas, we understand the importance of excavation and trenching accidents. Plumbers die in Texas every year from tunneling under houses. But I hate to say this because the ones that do, they don't do it right. They don't have dig crews come out. They have their plumbers or apprentices go in, dig holes. Well, guess what? The plumber and apprentice wants to dig a hole this big. Just say, look, I just need to get in there to fix it. That's all I need.
Yep.
Not good.
No, you've got to have access, and we can't cover these topics enough, guys, because the consequences here, it's deadly. It does not take much earth to crush you and cut off you being able to breathe to where your lungs can expand. So it's big. But, according to OSHA, cave-ins are among the most serious threats on a job site, and they're still happening every year. Just like we were saying, there's some recent ones that have happened. Keep an eye on it. Be smart about it. Get the right people. You really want to start with the basics. No trench deeper than 5 feet should ever go without a protective system. And I'm going to tell you, honestly, it's 4 feet. Because at 4 feet, if you get down on your knees to work on that pipe that's on the bottom of your ditch,
you're underground.
You are underground. And that's the key is honestly, whenever you get down in a ditch, if you can't turn your head and see out of the ditch, you probably need something in place to help prevent anything from happening.
Okay, Randy, useless facts.
Yep.
That pop into my head. You know how I am. We've tunneled under houses before. Okay. Mm-hmm. You've been under there. We've seen it. We've done it.
Yep.
1 cubic yard of dirt, 3 foot by 3 foot. If it falls in from the sides, if they don't take it up all the way to the slab, like a lot of plumbing companies do, I hate to say it. If they don't do all this, 1 cubic yard of dirt, what does it weigh?
Ooh.
What do you think?
Man, a cubic foot of water, 62 pounds. And that's just a cubic foot, not a yard. Mm-hmm. Man, you're good 800 pounds probably. Roughly.
No. 2,000 to 3,000 pounds.
Ooh, so it is over a ton. Okay. Wow.
So, yeah,
I wasn't sure if it was over a ton or like
1 to 1.5 tons. So think about that. If you're laying down, you're down there working, and all of a sudden you have 2,000 pounds on you.
Yep.
You're jacked. You ain't getting out.
That's it. And honestly, even shallow trenches can collapse in the right conditions, guys. Yep. If something changes or shifts, like I've heard bad stories next to roadways, the vibrations that it ends up sending over time, and you have big cave-ins. But you've got to make sure that your crews are trained. If they do this, make sure that they know how to use trench boxes and put them in safely. You have to keep yourself protected the whole time that you are working with trench boxes and putting them in.
Yeah, you
And
don't just climb in the hole and say, "Hey, let's put one right
hey, give
here."
me one right here. Fly one in on me, guys.
Hey,
Yeah, this is
yeah,
a great
no,
spot.
no, hey, roll that backhoe right up here and close to the ditch and set it in here on top of me.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, you got to be
And
careful with this stuff,
I've
guys.
seen it, but that's it. Like, you don't want anybody down in the hole whenever you're actually doing that and getting everything right. Go through the training and always have that competent person that's inspecting it, looking for any cracks, water adjacent structures, anything that can cause vibrations, things like that. Have somebody that's trained, well representing your company and keeping your guys safe, because cave vents are dangerous.
Randy, do you know that there's new trades opportunities available
Oh, I'm sure.
in new construction?
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. And
yeah.
we're talking about the wind energy farms today, but I mean, think about this, Randy. Solar panels. That's a whole crew right now. That's a whole new job. That's a whole new career.
Yep.
What do you do for a living? I install solar panels.
Yeah.
Dude, hats off to you.
Yeah. I'm a SkyTrack operator. Oh, really? Yeah. I just set solar panels all day.
All day long.
All day long.
Uh-huh.
I'd be good at that job.
Yeah, I know. I love SkyTrack.
I love SkyTrack.
So, but I mean, think about this. It's new trade opportunities, because people are like, well, I don't want to be a plumber. I don't want to be an electrician. Okay. What about a wind energy farm?
Yep.
Be a farmer.
It'll be the next big wave. It really is. Like, it's, everybody's doing solar, everybody's doing EV. Next is going to be wind. Yep. We're going to be taking some wind farms and getting that created. And I hope they start making them large scale and small scale. Well, I'd like to build just a couple small ones out here to operate some small things. Nothing major would be awesome.
We need to make sure to reach out to Ahern again, because Don Ahern, literally the last time I was there, he is building a vertical turbine.
Oh.
That it almost looks like the flue of the water heater, how it's got that rod or that piece of plate in it that spins like that.
The spiral, yeah.
Well, imagine that built in plastic at a bigger scale, and the wind blows across it and it makes it spin. And that's what he's done. He's done the coolest stuff. Anyway,
that's awesome.
We need to talk to him.
Yeah.
But look, guys, the growth of wind energy projects across the United States is growing. It's going to be a great trade to get into. There's skills involved. There's trades at the highest demand, because you need to know about electricity, welding, heavy equipment operators. There's so many different things going to be involved in here, but also just being the guy. Randy, we talk about the whole home, smart home coordinator.
Yeah.
The guy that knows how to walk in. I can make your water heater talk to your television.
Yep. That's cybersecurity trained.
You bet. Can you imagine being the guy that plants and grows the wind energy farm? Hey guys, we need some here. We need some here. We need this. This needs to be tied together. You become the guy that understands things that other people don't even understand. They're just like, they have a share.
Yeah.
You understand how it all works and ties it all together. And the economic and environmental benefits are amazing.
Well, there's a project in Oklahoma that's putting in like 120 wind turbines and getting them online over the next year.
And I've driven up through Oklahoma. Those aren't little bitty ones like we're talking about.
No, these are big ones.
These are like skyscrapers. Yeah.
I used to see the fins of these come out of Gainesville, Texas. And
oh yeah,
you talk about some long spans there, bud.
That's like that big pole trailer.
Yes.
Because that fin is the trailer. It's got wheels strapped on one end.
On one end of the truck. Yeah.
And
you get the truck
goes.
one end and wheels on the other. And it's remote control operated for the back wheels to help it turn, because it is such a long blade. It is so cool. They build them right there by the interstate too, so that there's not a lot.
They don't have to go down a bunch of dirt roads to get up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool. But they require long-term maintenance also.
Mm-hmm. Which is a whole new career.
Which is a whole nother career. All I do is drive around maintaining wind farms.
I get up there and squirt the oil pump to grease it up.
That's it.
Got to do it.
You got to lube it up. You got to do it. That's it. Yeah. And you're going to have your routine. You just cruise through and doing it. It's going to be a job for somebody.
Now, I want you to think about this. and we're fixing to move on to mindset, but I got one last question for you.
Mhm.
Because I know you. Can you imagine climbing up there to grease that up and enjoying your lunch up there?
I'd be in heaven.
Wouldn't that be
Personally.
the greatest thing on earth?
Yeah, like my kids freak out whenever I tell them, "Yeah, I've sat on that corner of the top of the edge of that building before."
Yep.
I got to work night shifts. Okay, so I got to do some things that you couldn't do normally.
Yeah, no, I
Just
get
to be
it.
able to
I get
tell
it.
my kids stories like that, and they're like, "Wait, Dad, like you were on the edge of that building up there on that corner." Yeah,
You really did that? Uh-huh.
yeah, that's just I do. I like that. I like that
Well-
feel. It doesn't
well,
bother me.
I started to tell you that was stupid, but I remember your father telling you stories like that. So it's like, now I know why he does it. Now I know why he does it.
That's how I got it. That's right.
Oh, well. Your dad wasn't very smart. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Oh well.
Oh, well. It is what it is.
Uh,
Okay, mindset growth. And I like this because overcoming common leadership challenges in construction. And Randy, we I have people talk to me all the time and they're like, Roger, look, you join the union from open shop. You become a foreman, you become a superintendent, you become an instructor in the union, you become director of operations for a mechanical contractor in the union. What did you do? What did you learn to help you move up and do things like that? And you've got to learn leadership. You've got to learn management. You've got to learn how to communicate with people. Do you agree?
Not just any people. You've got to lead a crew of construction workers that are always pissed off at each other for some reason or another. And like,
What's that jar of stuff called? Red SF, something like that?
Yeah, that's it.
You got to be able to heal it, baby.
That's it. You got to be ready for a welder to drop and be gone. And I don't have a welder anymore. Hold on. Let me make these calls. Let me jump through these hoops. Let me see what I can do. And let's see if I can get somebody out here tomorrow because I need them now.
Absolutely.
And you deal with it. You learn to lead. You don't get to just go in and swing a hammer. You got to deal with the people. You got to deal with the budgets and the timelines. It's not just, I'm dealing with work anymore. No, you've got to deal with multiple levels of that work now. You are running the project. But a lot of leaders fail, not because they're lazy, but because they're winging it. They don't really know what they're doing. They're just trying to run and go. And it's funny because I feel like the last major company I was at, they just sent me out to be a superintendent somewhere. And then I called telling them I needed a raise. And they're like, well, why do you think you deserve a raise? I said, well, I'm a superintendent on projects now. Oh, no. Well, y'all didn't talk about that? I said, look, nobody even asked me if I wanted the position. They sent me out here to run the job, and I'm here.
Yeah.
So let's back up the wheels a little bit and let's have a talk real quick. And they're like, holy crap. Okay. I wasn't scared of that. I'd ran jobs before, so it didn't bother me any. I'm just like, hey, they're sending the right dude. And guess what? Yeah, I'll be calling right after that superintendent leaves the job. And I'll be getting some more.
You know what, Randy? You said the right thing right there. Because most problems leaders have is lack of communication.
That's it.
And you started out, hey, let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this. I need to open this clear line of communication real quick.
You bet.
You're my new boss. Let's talk.
I did not ask for this. This is where I've been put, but let's here's how we're going to make this work.
Let's keep moving. Yep.
And another good thing too, I mean, if you want to be a good leader, you communicate with your people every day. But I used to teach, whenever I was teaching a foreman certification thing in the union, the best thing you can put on the job site are your boot prints.
Yep.
100,000%.
Oh my gosh.
That and I hate superintendents that they're in the trailer all day, every day.
You see them twice a job.
Yeah.
Because they got drug out to the job site to look at something with somebody else.
They may come out for the morning meeting, and then if they have to, but you know what? If the office comes out, they're all over that job.
That's right. That's the other time of year you get to see them is because somebody from the office came out. Oh yeah, let me walk them through the job.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. So look here, and we're going to move on, but man, to be a good leader, you got to learn communication. You got to learn management styles. But at the end of the day, you're trying to motivate your employees. And really, that's what it's all about. So think about it, because you can really do it well if you learn it. You can learn to do anything. Look at me. I learned to do YouTube. And learning to do YouTube, people ask me all the time, well, what made you think you could learn to do YouTube? Man, have you seen some of the tools that I've learned how to use over my career? I mean, I learned how to use a total station. They ain't made for plumbers, y'all.
No.
You can learn to use anything. Randy, we've learned to use computers.
Yeah.
If you'd have told me when I started plumbing, which was a few years back, that a computer would be something I carried with me every day, I'd have been like, dude, you are smoking crack. Number one, I don't think computers were around back then. But if they were, you had to carry them around in the back of a truck. But learning YouTube was easy. Guys, YouTube is a tool. It's a tool that can help you grow you, your brand, your business. It can help you get the most amazing message in the world out there. A lot of people tell me they can't do YouTube. And to be honest, YouTube's not the problem. It's the voices inside their head telling them that it won't work for them. If you're ever even thought about using social media, start with YouTube. YouTube helps you figure out that you can make long form content, then you can cut it, repurpose it, and do a lot of things with it. So if it's something you think you'd be interested in, go to www.justmattroger.com. Check it out. It's a free webinar, and I promise it'll help you get the right mindset and make you think, wow, maybe I can do this. Squirt, talk about our sponsor, Leak Pro.
Man, we would like to thank our main sponsor for the episode is Leak Pro. And Leak Pro manufactures the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. If you're a plumber out there and you are tired of losing leak detection jobs to leak detection companies, because I see a lot of those now, they've got plumbers and they're fixing the issues too. Quit losing out. Give me a call. Check out our equipment, guys. If you really learn, that's the main thing about my equipment. We made it user friendly. It's easy to use. It's go. You push the button. You listen. Do you hear it? No? Keep moving. Let's move down the line. Let's find that spot. So I always suggest checking out the complete kit. It's going to cover you for anything outdoor or indoor when you actually want to listen through slabs, things like that. So check out the complete kit at www.leak-pro.com. If you're not familiar with equipment or leak detection, how to do it at all, give me a call. I offer a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. We've built a slab out here, extra thick, with 11 leaks under it. We go through, you learn how to locate all the lines first. Then we go through pinpoint leak locating under the slab. I've got one outside of the slab also, so we can go through it. You know what that sounds like. But then also I'll teach you how to pinpoint locate on sewer systems. I've got a cast iron and a PVC system to kind of train you on at how you can do that, all from the double clean out outside of the house. Not invasive. You don't have to get on the roof, anything like that. So give me a call so that we can add leak detection to your list of services so you quit losing these leak detection jobs. Give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd be happy to discuss this with you.
Hey guys, if you're a plumber and you're not thinking about the work that you're losing to the leak detection companies, it's something you need to think about. If you're a plumbing company owner and you're being told by these leak detection companies they're 6 weeks out before they can get to you, you need to be thinking, hey, what could we do to speed that up and possibly make more money? The training, the complete kit, it's worth it. Most people that come in make their money back in the first week that they start doing it. We literally had a guy bring 3 people in for training, went back that next Monday, made his money back the first day. It's not a bad way to do it. All trades, integrating new trades into established project teams. Now, bringing in new trades is kind of difficult sometimes. To bring a plumbing company into an HVAC company, to bring an HVAC company into an electrical company, you've got to make sure that you have to have effective onboarding strategies to make sure everybody understands what is your company culture. Because if you don't have a good company culture, it's going to get worse. And if you have a good one, but you don't really train this new trade coming in on what it is you're doing and how you do it and why you're good at what you do, they're never going to get it. But you've also got to understand you've got to treat them all fairly, treat them all equally.
That's it. You're bringing them into your system.
And it's like we talked about earlier, communication.
Communication is so big. Clearly communicate what your protocols are. Also clearly communicate the expectations of how you see this becoming a family, becoming one where we work together. That was a big hurdle for us originally whenever our company brought in the electricians.
You bet.
We were all union. The electricians were actually non-union. And that alone kind of started a little tiff at the beginning. But then it's like a lot of guys ask me, how do you get along with the sheet metal so good? It's like, look, it takes them to make my system run too. They need my system. I need theirs. Guess what? I'm going to work with them. With the electricians, same thing. Guess what? We need them to power all of our stuff, guys. We need them to provide power on the job for us to do our jobs. It will be great to have them on our side also. And then once I embrace that, it's like, man, look, this really does work. And if you'll make that clear expectation on the front end and let all the teams know, look, this is what we see happening. We're going to be a team together to accomplish these projects. And selling that, it really does resonate with the crew, things like that. And you can use, keep everybody synced schedule-wise, track the progresses so that everybody kind of knows where each trade is at currently for jobs and when they're going to plug in, because sharing spaces on any job with any company or within your own company is tough to do. We all want to get our jobs done, but you've got to clearly line out how that's going to look.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. We all want to get our jobs done, but we want to get it done our way. And now when you got other people playing in your sandbox, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. So communication is the only way to make it work.
Yep.
All right. Laws and licenses. And this is pretty neat because there's a new OSHA standard for crane operation certifications. And crane operators, they make a lot of money.
They do, and I don't think they ever get jacked with often. So this, I was like, yeah, let's talk about this. I haven't seen anything on crane certifications in a long time, honestly.
No, me either. And that's always one that I thought would just be a cool job.
I know. So we talked VR and AR a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Great way to learn some of that. There's some cool ones for the crane operators to train on. And I'm like, man, that is perfect for a crane operator to learn on virtually, because you're not knocking buildings over if you screw up. You're not killing somebody if you drop a load.
You're not knocking the crane over.
That's it. When you bump into another one. Yep.
There's I think it was the Minnesota football stadium that there's a crane that fell over onto the stadium.
Yep.
And
yes,
that video, I saw it. I mean, it'll break your heart.
It will. I've seen that video. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
So there's new certification requirements. So if you are a crane operator, make sure that you check things out. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You're getting everything taken care of. And there's great training programs available to help make sure that you are up to date on your certifications.
That's it.
And remember the consequences for non-compliance. OSHA. I ain't got to say nothing else. OSHA.
Yeah. Everybody knows that cost.
Yeah.
But you've got to be certified not just by crane type, but by the capacity. Okay, so you got to think about that too. It's not just, I can operate that crane. I've learned that style. There's load limits too. If you get up to a certain capacity, they want you to have the extra training, extra certifications, because not all cranes are built the same. The bigger they get, the heavier loads they pick up, but they want more training for that person picking up that heavier load, because it can lead to bigger devastations. So you're going to have to check some of this. Also, there's new refresher training timelines in place. So if you're an operator, get out there and check and make sure that you're current, because deadlines are out there and you definitely want to get everything current before they start rolling out fines for this.
Absolutely. Okay, AJ Hernandez has just became a substation apprentice electrician. Any advice to be successful in this industry, number one, never stop learning. AJ, number one, I love that you're asking the question, but never stop learning. Don't assume you know anything. If you've looked at something like, yeah, I think I got that figured out. If somebody comes up and says, hey, do you know how to do this? Say, I think I do. But would you show me or would you tell me exactly how you want it done? Don't just assume anything. And if there's something you don't know how to do, don't be afraid to look at the journeyman, the foreman, the superintendent, whoever's telling you, hey, grab that and do this. Don't be afraid to say, look, I've never used this tool. Will you show me how to use it safely?
Yep.
And if you'll ask questions like that, the respect for you goes up drastically. It really does.
Yep.
All right. Business training. Implementing effective time management practices on job sites. Square, this is something you were good at.
Man, that's it. Like, have you ever felt like your crews are busy but not productive, not getting the job in? Guess what?
Oh,
it's a time management issue.
Uh-huh.
And that can really cost you money. Like I can remember hitting a job, and it was one of the first piping jobs I got to run for Brant from pretty much the start. And it's like, oh, guys, it's a bunch of long straight runs that we're doing. And one of my favorite things to do was to put as long a piece of pipe together I can and lift it all and hang it at one time.
Yep.
So we went through building out a bunch of pieces because we would plan the work and then hang it all at once. And that saves so much time. It saves so many field welds up in the air itself. Even though it wasn't going to be hard to fit up because we had access to the whole area, it's so much easier for them welders to weld down there on the ground where they can move to any angle and position they want without being tied off. So it keeps them happy too.
And remember, I love the way you said that. It's easier for them to do. If you're doing all the welds in the ceiling, there's a higher MCAA factor. That's right. Because it takes more. I love the way you think about that. Absolutely.
So like little things like this help create that time savings because you are actually planning it. Okay. Use different things to actually track stuff. But the best part is assign specific start and stop times for different things. We're going to go work in this area. Here's the time we've got, guys. Boom. Here's the key things I need knocked out today. And that's something I learned a lot in industrial because we would get access to a room for 2 hours and that's it. Or I was working in an existing space.
Ever worked at Texas Instruments?
Well, one of my favorites was I had a job. The only time we could drill anchors was the first 30 minutes of the day.
Yep.
So we would stay late, laying out anchors and everything. And it was funny because that was the one job no apprentice rolled us out. Most jobs, your apprentice is the one that gets every tool out of the box. No, there were hammer drills sitting on top with face shields, and they would come in, grab those, and they'd start drilling. And here's the journeyman rolling the job out for the day because that first 30 minutes was the most important part of the day to keep us moving forward as a team. Mm-hmm. You've got to know those things. You've got to plan that time perfectly and strategically. And you learn this a lot, especially with shutdowns, because you have to look, you get 15 minutes in there and then I need you out for 30 minutes and then we'll get you back in for another 15. This is just how it's got to work because this has to happen before that next step. You've got to plan all that work.
You know, and when it comes to time management, I love that, Squirt, the way you're talking about it. Literally, when the guys walk in, their hammer drills, their bits, their anchors, their hammers, their set tools, their face shields, the cords, everything is there and ready. It's not like, hey, we get this area from 8 to 8:30, so let's start rolling out at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, you're rolled out at 7 o'clock. You've got everything done in place. It's normally a foreman or superintendent or a journeyman laying it out because there are no room for error. And you want to make sure, hey, if we need 100 anchors installed in 30 minutes, we've got enough people here that we can get 125 done because we want every daggum. We cannot be one anchor short.
Yep.
Because it'll kill the rest of our production that day. So
That's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about vehicles.
Let's do it. And, extending the life of your work truck with preventive maintenance.
Even your personal vehicle.
Even your personal vehicle.
Yes.
Is so
Because
important.
we're good about that.
I'm a very structured person. I like to have everything on time, on schedule. If it's a box that needs to be checked, I want to check it.
Yep.
That's why guys loved having me on the job, because it's like, look, these are the steps. Okay, let's do it. No problem. But is it a work truck? Is it your mobile office? Is it your billboard and your money maker? It's all of the above, guys. So you want to take care of it. You want to treat it right. And you want to stick with preventive maintenance. Oil changes. Oil changes are one of the most important. Stay on top of that. Tire rotations are big. That's going to make your tires last a lot longer, not wear too much. And it's going to also help prevent accidents if you're staying on top of these things. Brake inspections is another big one there, especially whenever you are in a van, like you're a plumber loaded down to actually work. That is a heavy vehicle that you are trying to stop if some dummy ahead slams on their brakes.
And you're putting extra wear and tear on those brakes every time you use them.
That's it. That's it. They wear out 2 to 3 times faster on commercial vehicles that are loaded down with a lot of weight, because it is stopping more, which burns the brakes faster. So stick to that regular schedule. Use some fleet tracking apps to actually track and maintain who's done it, when it's due, different things like that. Have somebody responsible for going in and checking that to make sure that the whole fleet is being maintained properly. You'll want that a reminder. Yeah.
While you're pulling up the social media, I want to talk too, those fleet tracking apps, the things that I love about them. You can actually have fleet tracking apps that tell you, does this person speed too much? Does this person accelerate rapidly from stops, and do they stop fast? Meaning, if they pull up and they see a red light, they're taking their foot off the gas half a mile before they get there, or 100 yards, whatever it is, depends on how fast you're going. But are you looking at that, or are you going 80 miles an hour till, okay, slam on the brakes because we're coming up on cars in front of us? So guys, think about stuff like that. These vehicle tracking apps can help make your vehicles safer, help make your vehicles last longer, help you know, hey, Squirt, I'm sorry, but you average 20 miles over the speed limit everywhere you go. We can't have that. It's not good for the vehicles. It's not good for our reputation. So I want to jump into the chat. Yeah. Squirt says, sorry. Okay, then bye. Okay, so Eric Michael Pelcher, how you doing? Good to see you in here, brother. Says Mr. Wakefield is an incredible wealth of knowledge. I'm assuming he's talking about you, because
probably so.
Never have people say that about me. Top of the morning, Roger. Make with Mike. Good to see you. And also says, hi, Squirt. Hope y'all have a great Friday. Brother, we have a great Monday through Friday.
That's it. Hope you have a great Friday.
Yeah, we hope all y'all have a great Friday. Look, I love Mondays. I know it sounds funny. Man, Mondays, I get up, I'm man, I'm ready to go. Let's get this going. Plumber Trades, what is up? It's a beautiful day. Nice, AJ. How we doing? Guys, look, I truthfully think that we've got the most amazing lives that I could ever imagine. So y'all make it possible. So thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate it. But Randy, today we're talking about Serving Up Plumbing. And they've got engaging content providing practical plumbing tips and tutorials, viral videos such as quick DIY fixes and humorous plumbing fails. The humorous plumbing fails are my favorites. And highly relatable presentation that's beneficial for both tradespeople and homeowners. Now, what is it that you liked about Serving Up Plumbing?
I came across this yesterday.
Yeah?
Do you see this?
I do see that.
It is David Butler over at Milestone.
I love this.
And he has been on our podcast before.
Yes, he has, and he's fantastic.
on this chat. That's it. And I stumbled across this yesterday and I was like, oh my God. Oh, yes. David Butler did it. Milestone's doing it. Guys.
David Butler
5
getting
months
a
ago.
shout out today.
That's it. 5 months ago. Not a lot of subs and stuff yet. It joined 2023, but I think that's when they actually just kind of started the channel itself. They didn't start releasing videos till about 5 months ago, like March.
Right.
They started doing some shorts, things like that. Almost 1,000 subs. They're getting close.
Hey guys, if y'all are watching, jump over there and subscribe. Go ahead and put him over 1,000, and we will make sure to reach out and give him a shout and say, hey man, come on.
That's it. He's broke 250,000 views now. So they're out there doing it. And that's something that I like. Just everybody's always asking, am I too old to get started at this? Dad, are you too old to get started at this?
No. And Mr. Butler is actually 3 years older than me.
That's
and
it.
look at him. I mean, heck, he
5
looks
months
younger
ago.
than me.
Boom.
He looks younger than me. Who's his photographer?
Movie magic.
There you go.
But they're out here teaching stuff, which is something that you taught them to do, is get out there, teach some people things, help your customers. This is something I love because he's doing this to help promote the business, just like you originally started YouTube doing. 4 signs that you need to replace your water heater. You know what that leads to, guys? Jobs.
Yeah.
For your company, if somebody in your area happens to see that and they're like, oh my gosh, that is what my water heater looks like at home. I better call and get that replaced. A lot of people don't know what they don't know. That's the key to social media, is you get to put information out there to help people learn things they don't know. That's why we love doing this channel, to bring up more things that some people don't know anything about. Some people do. Great. We want to spread the knowledge so that everybody knows a little bit about everything and every trade out there, because it takes all of us to get a building in. But I love it. They're cruising through. They've gotten started. They're doing good. Colorful thumbnails. A great start to a channel for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the stuff I love, man. Let's see which one is his most popular.
Power Flu.
Yep. Power Flush Toilet.
Yep.
But lots of good things. If you are in the trades, get out there and get going. Show some of the things off that you do. Do some videos that'll help your customers. That's how a lot of tradespeople honestly start. The little things.
It's either trying to help customers, Randy, or trying to show their family what they do.
That's it.
How many people have we talked to that have come in for the podcast or came in to be on a show or something like that? They're like, man, look, I just started doing this, or we met them at conferences.
Yep.
And they're like, man, I just started doing this because I wanted to show my wife and show my kids and show my brothers and sisters and mom and dad what I do.
Yep.
And it's like, wait, what?
That's it.
They're like, yeah.
They're asking me, what does a plumber really do? Well, hold on here. I'll put some videos out. I'll film some of it so that y'all can see what I actually do at work. And it's different because I was the kid getting drug out to see what plumbing was.
Yeah. I didn't have to make videos for him. It's like,
I'll
tell you what, you want to know what I do? Come on, let's go.
I'll show you. Grab that shovel.
Absolutely. Nothing at all wrong with that.
That's it.
All right, I'm going to jump into the questions real quick. I like this one. It says, do you guys charge extra to work on Saturdays? When plumbing, asking for a friend. If you're not charging extra for Saturdays, I would want to know why. The only reason I would say not to is if you want to provide more value to your customers, and then you have a guy on rotation that maybe doesn't work Monday. He works Tuesday through Saturday. I mean, seriously, you think about it, because there's a lot of people that if you work Saturdays, they don't have to take off from work now.
That's it.
You're bringing more value to your customer. And if you're doing that and you say, hey guys, look, we work Saturdays and we don't charge any extra, and you start marketing that, and
You're getting
branding
the
that,
calls.
you're going to be freaking busy on Saturdays.
You're going to need more plumbers that want to work Saturdays.
Yeah. But
Yep.
you know what? I mean, think about it. If you've got a plumber that's married to a cosmetologist, they're off Sunday and Monday.
Yep.
The 2 slow days for hair. Now, when I worked with Sabra, she wanted to open on Sundays and said, hey, will you work Sundays? You get to keep all the money. They didn't take a percentage, but Sabra wanted the salon open. She wanted that salon open 7 days a week. So people knew, hey, we're here.
Yep.
Man, I could go in on Sundays and make $1,000 to $2,000, not charging any extra.
Yep.
But it was good. It worked. All right. And Make with Mike also says, was looking at the Vevor press or press. They have a brushless and brushed model, $600 to $900. Wasn't sure how it compared. Looked like the new rigid version, sort of. You know, Randy, we may need to check into that.
I'm not sure.
The Vevor press. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that.
The Vevor yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that. But anyway, yeah, we'll check it out, Mike. See what we can find on that. Randy, tell us a little bit about Leak Pro, and then I want to talk about YouTube.
Man, we would like to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. If you're a plumber out there and you don't know how to do leak detection, and it can benefit you because you're tired of losing leak detection jobs, add it to your list of services. I've got the right equipment. Always check out the complete kit. Comes with 2 different devices in that box. It's like a business in a box. Covers you for outdoor, that meter to the home service, irrigation lines, things like that. That's for the probe, T-handle style. But then also there's a sidekick, and that's got an aluminum rod. That's what you want inside when you're listening through slabs or anything like that. The equipment, it's affordable. It'll pay for itself really quick as far as leak detections go. You can check out the complete kit at www.leak-pro.com. If you don't know the process of leak detection, you've never done it, give me a call, because you can come spend a couple days with me and I will run you through a training at the facility that we've built here. I've got 11 leaks under a slab to train you on. We'll go through line locating, pinpoint leak detection under the slab. I got a leak outside of the slab, but even in sewer systems. So give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd be happy to talk to you about the training or the equipment and how we can add leak detection to your world.
Randy, what did you think when I first told you about leak detection on cast iron and PVC? Whenever I was like, hey, look, I can teach you how to use test balls, hoses, cameras, and a little bit of mindset. And we can make test balls turn and go different directions. We can isolate areas. We can prove where leaks are and where leaks are not on cast iron and PVC systems. What did you think about that in the beginning?
Originally, I was kind of like, man, it sounds kind of like a big time waste, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you see how fast it is, it's like, holy crap, that's a time saver, not a time waster. Okay, I'm sold on it. And you got to see it that first time, and it's like, holy cow. Like, and then you start putting a little actual thought to it, and it's like, ooh, oh, wait. That's what you figure out whenever you go through training. That's it. It's really cool. It's completely out of the box thinking as to how I go about doing it.
Now you do the training there at Leak Pro. How do the plumbers feel when you show them how to do it? What feedback do you get?
Honestly, they're like, I can't believe it was that easy. Because after they see me go through everything and the way I teach it and talk to them about everything, they're just like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I think but they had just seen it also, so they know the things to look for. I just call it out, and they're like, oh my gosh, that took 5 minutes. And it's like, well, yeah, we were set up and ready and everything. Yeah, but it does not take long. It's much faster than going and getting a ladder, going and getting any tools, anything. It's quick and easy.
Pretty good stuff. Guys, look, Leak Pro works. Check it out. If you want to learn to do what we do, we teach people how to do YouTube. But first, we teach them to get the right mindset, because most people think look, I don't have the right equipment. I don't have enough followers. I don't have enough viewers. You know what? YouTube's not the problem. It's the voices inside your head making you think it won't work for you. I'm just a plumber. And I have learned to grow a business, grow a brand, and just grow on social media. If you even think you might be interested in trying YouTube, I made a webinar. It's free. Go check it out at www.justmattroger.com. I'd love to hear what you think about it, because I'm telling you, if you even think you're interested in doing social media, YouTube is a great place to start. So go check it out at www.justmattroger.com. Happy Friday, Squirt. I know y'all are going to have a wonderful weekend there. I am fixing to walk into Sessions in a couple of days, and then I'll be home Sunday. Guys, remember, it's early on Friday. You're not done yet. Think about what you got to do out there and stay safe. So whatever you do, stay very safe, but also have fun.
That's it. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope to see you back here next Monday for a wonderful start of the week. Get out there and hit it effing hard, guys. You know we will. See you Monday. Bye.
Bye, guys.